So this one is other people. Let's draw the box. There we go. Okay, other people. So sounds really obvious, and it's probably common sense to most people that the size of your network in terms of your business network, the people that you know, the size of your network will have a direct outcome on how successful you're going to be. The bigger it is, the more money it's going to bring you, because the more investors you've got, the more potential deals that you can sell. Property is, a lot of people get confused, just to digress slightly from other people, a lot of people get confused with when they start out and they think, oh, I want to be a property sourcer, I want to be a rent-to-rent operator, and they focus on the property and they focus on trying to find property deals. When in reality, what they should be doing is trying to find investors to make a sale possible. Because what's the point in having a property if you haven't got any investors to sell to? I cannot emphasize enough the importance of having a list of investors. And I don't mean a list of names and numbers and email addresses that you can probably buy from some dark corner of the internet. Now we've got GDPR and all the rest of it. A list is a list. It needs to be, a list of investors that you have a relationship with. Relationship is what property is all about. And the more people that you've got a relationship with and the bigger your network, the more successful you're going to be. So, on other people, so we'll start off with first one, solicitors, which, if anybody's a property sourcer already out there, these guys and girls are probably cause you a great deal of stress during many deals. But solicitors, they're not the fastest of people in terms of getting stuff done. They've always got loads of files on the desk to work through, and yours always seems to be at the bottom when you're trying to push a deal through, and it's a bit of a nightmare. But solicitors are good and bad depending on who you use and how busy they are at the time, I suppose. But solicitors deal with property solicitors anyway deal with property sales, and when a sale falls through, they have an extremely motivated vendor on their hands. So what happens to that vendor? What happens to that client of the solicitors when a sale falls through? Well, it's out the solicitor's hands. The solicitor can't do anything about that, but you can take advantage of that and potentially keep that sale alive for the right price. So again, it's heavy on using referrals. And I'm a big fan of paying a little bit out to get a deal done. In terms of solicitors, you can offer them a referral fee. For any details on, if a deal's about to fall through, go and have a look at this property, ring the agent, because they'll know what the property is. It doesn't really breach any GDPR. You can just go and find the property online and then make an inquiry and say, look, you're ready to move, blah, 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 blah. And yeah, you can find deals through solicitors, friendly solicitors. So next up, we've got builders. So builders are an absolute must to have in your inner circle. And regards sourcing, that builders themselves will come across opportunities all the time. They're often, what you'll find is builders are often portfolio landlords themselves. They've got a couple of properties. So buddy up with a friendly local builder. In terms of sourcing, they're going to be great because you will need builders' quotes from time to time. A builder that I use, he doesn't actually have to go out to the property. If I send him a floor plan and send him some pictures and say, look, give us a ballpark for this, he's quite happy to hang his hat on a ballpark figure. And then, if the deal progresses or, I go view it and move things forward, then he'll come with me. You need builders on your team. In terms of sourcing, they will come across things all the time. They'll do quotes for other people, and give you a heads up and say, oh, been out to view this today, quoted for this guy, and it looks quite interesting. You might want to take a look yourself. Builders are a great source of information as well. So builders. Next up, I'm going to go with IFAs, independent financial advisors. So IFAs will have clients who are landlords, investors, and offering them a referral fee again for sharing your details, etc. is a really, really smart move. So they come across people who have money. Obviously, they don't know what to do with it. That's why they're speaking to a financial advisor. Where's the best place to put my money? And they help them there. So a referral fee for just passing on your business card, basically, because you can't do much more than that. You can't get their details directly off the IFA. Obviously, that would be in breach of GDPR, and IFAs are just another great source that you can use along with builders and solicitors in terms of pass on the business card. If anything comes of it, then you give them a little kickback. Nice and easy. Next up, we've got these guys who are directly involved in property, obviously architects. So these guys have got their finger on the pulse in terms of they may have been part of a planning application, and that planning application, for whatever reason, may have been knocked back, or maybe a buyer's just changed their mind on a development, and people go AWOL sometimes and just disappear. They're going down one path and then they see something else, and they just drop it and move on to something else. So architects have quite often, got a lot of useful information in terms of what's going on. And sometimes you can pick up potential opportunities through architects. So again, it's just, you give us a bell if you hear of anything, that type of thing. So moving on from architects, we'll go with F&F. F&F is friends and family. So this can be a double-edged sword, to be quite honest with you. And family and friends can sometimes be dismissive when you start or begin a new venture or business, but they can also be really very handy. Everybody knows somebody. It's that, you will have heard of the 6 degrees of separation. And one of my family members, this still drives me nuts today, this, when I think about it. One of my family members casually mentioned having a beer in the summertime at some family fun day somewhere. And this guy casually mentioned that he knew a guy who had 50 buy-to-let properties, and he was managing them himself, and he was beginning to struggle with it because he was an elderly gentleman. He just casually dropped it into conversation over a beer, and I was like, how the hell have you not mentioned this before to me when you know what I do? And at the time I was an agent. I had my agency at the time, and he was self-managing. So this was an absolute game changer of a conversation that led to a hell of a lot of business for myself and the agency. So friends and family can be a source of income, potential properties. I know somebody who's looking to sell a property, or I know somebody who's in a bit of a pickle in work, and they're looking to do this, but they really need to get maximum price on it, and it's just having a conversation, and it goes back to just let people know what you're doing, and kind of give them a broad strokes view. Don't bore them to death, because people do switch off when you start talking about work. Give them a broad strokes view of what it is that you're doing, and get that, the key things across to them. So if anything comes up, they're going to pick up the phone, because you're front of mind, aren't you? They're going to pick up the phone and speak to you about it. So next up, we've got brokers and surveyors. Excuse me, just having a drink there. Brokers and surveyors. So these guys come across property day in, day out, and it's the power of the referral again, and it should yield you some good business over time. Not not regularly, but over time, a deal here and a deal there, and that's going to do you just fine. Brokers come across a lot of properties, obviously, and surveyors are in and out properties all day long, valuing them. All these people here, regardless of, this is in, we're talking about these people in terms of from a sourcing perspective, how you can get deals from these different people and trades, and you can add in things like handymen on the back of builders, and plumbers, trades, all sorts of people. It's common sense really, but in terms of talking about, I hate the phrase. I really hate the phrase in property. You need to build your power team, but these people you need to have in your diary, having your phone contacts, certainly, because one, you're going to need them over time, probably, most of these people, and two, they could be a source of business as well, a source of deals. So other people, don't discount it, and just think of your circle really. Starting with friends and family is the easiest one, and then branching out to everything else. And so that's other people. Really quite important. But yeah, like I say, be imaginative. This is just a couple of ideas just to get you thinking along those lines. You've got plumbers, you've got tilers, plasterers. You can go on and on with trades and anything else that you can think of. But yeah, other people is certainly a great avenue to look at when sourcing deals and building up a network of people that you're going to need anyway.